All right, let's look at markets, and we'll start with the row crops here and the grains in particular. How about the corn market? And corn futures have been up 5% year to date. We are lower across the board. Now, the new crop at 461.5 is a half penny lower. We did get a flash sale announcement from USDA earlier. 4.1 million bushels. This is old crop, so what's in the bin right now sold to unknown destinations. About beans. Beans up 12% year to date. We're a penny and a half higher on the trade right now, 11.77 3/4. Quick scan through the rest of the complex. Soy meal contracts are moving lower. Bean oil moving higher for the third straight session. We've gained 41% year to date, and we're getting a little bit of help, as Rich Nelson told us earlier today from this market, talking about palm oil moving higher as well. Now back over to our row crops and the wheat market. Wheat up 28% year to date. September 647.25. It's up 7.5. We're watching hard red up 8.25 at 722.25. And finally, cotton market trying to make it 4 straight sessions higher. We're down nearly a half penny right now on the D's at 83.98. Well, let's roll over to Maryland. That's where we find Ben Hushon. Ben's a certified crop advisor with the mill. You're in corn. Great to see you, Ben.
Good morning. And the reason I'm standing where I am is after last week's show, one of your longtime listeners said, "You were talking about short corn. I've been growing sweet corn my whole life, and you never mentioned the original short corn." So here I am standing in a sweet corn field this morning, and it reminded me of a conversation I had with a couple folks last week. You know, every so often you'll throw that question, what does it look like? What's our corn crop look like? Well, in our region, because of all of the folks, row crop farmers, vegetable farmers that put out 2 to 10 acres of sweet corn to sell along the roadside, that gives us, Tony, an early peek into what the potential might be. When they're saying, boy, we're not getting many ears off, it's not 100% locked, but it's a real indicator. And so far this year, the sweet corn growers are very happy. There's been some gaps. Right now, lots of insect pressure. But in general, that's a good indicator for the corn crop that many of these same growers have. And something else I wanted to mention that I noticed last week, there was a lot of discussion, and I know I brought it up a couple of times. We were dry in our region in July and August, when, especially in July, when that corn was starting to tassel. And a lot of farmers were focused on preventing tar spot because that is the best time to do it. And all the mono, when we shot up to 100-degree temperature for multiple days around our celebration of Independence Day, that's pretty much, according to the experts, and I'm just quoting them, pretty much stopped tar spot. But what it did not do is stop gray leaf spot that's been in our community pretty much all my career. And I know for the viewers, this is probably not a great picture, but for farmers, we encourage you, get out in the field and look for those miniature cigar-shaped damage to their corn leaf, which is now turning brown, and it's always between the ribs of that leaf. So if it isn't one thing, it's another that farmers get to look at. Again, that's not going to cut the yield in half, but it absolutely, for those who did spend the money to get a helicopter, airplane, or drone in to apply fungicide, this would be a primary reason why, because you can't see, you just have to trust models that say, listen, the weather says you're a high probability risk for such and such a disease. So,
wow. I'll tell you, Ben, I love the fact that you're out in the field. It gives me an opportunity to feel like I'm not sitting in a studio today. But thanks for doing that. And looks like you've got a little more rain on the way. Ben Hushon is with the mill. All right, we're back in a moment. More markets on Market Day Report.